What's happening? We are back on the 2004 Chevy Tahoe 100,000 mile service. Today's mission is going to be to replace the spark plugs. Alright, so a couple of fun facts before we get started. You'll notice it says replace spark plugs and inspect spark plug wires at 100,000 miles. Now I've done a couple of these 5.3s, and a lot of times what happens is the cylinder 7 and cylinder 8 plug wires are brittle as fuck and they break apart. So I got some plug wires too, but that's more of a just in case kind of deal. Not sure if we're even going to need them. And one more fun fact right here. Spark plugs. Go over to the Z engine. 41-985 were the OEM plugs. Now 41985 has been superseded to 41110, and that's what we're going to be using. So just so you know, we're going to do every plug in this vehicle. So if you're looking for a 3-minute ADD fast and easy video, this isn't the one for you. Now these plugs did not come with the little protective sleeve over here, which is weird. Again, I'm not too familiar with the Tahoes as opposed to like the i6 Trailblazers or whatever. So what I did for shits and giggles was I just took a little feeler gauge. I went ahead, checked the gap on all these, and they were within 0.003 of an inch between each other in relation to the 0.040 of an inch plug gap that's recommended. Because you can't do it the old school way with just ramming it up like this. You'll break that little ditty titty piece of iridium off and you'll be in a world of shit. Now, to help make things go a little bit smoother, I'm just going to get these set up ahead of time. Just take a little bit of Never Seas and just go right down the line here. Bip, 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 bip. We're not talking about globbing it on. We're just talking about just a little bit. Boom. Him, boom. Him, boom. You get the idea, right? When I did the video for the Trailblazers, a lot of people were upset that I did not use this dielectric grease for the coil to plug connections. If I remember correctly in that video, those coils already had some electric grease up in them, so didn't use it. Since this Tahoe may get plug wires too, I've got some dielectric grease ready just in case. I just have a feeling that a couple of those wires are going to break off. Not really going to go try to hunt down some wires on a Sunday afternoon, you know what I'm saying? Fuck that. It doesn't really matter which side you start on. I'm just going to start on this side. It might be hard to see some of these as I'm doing them, but if you were standing here looking at this, you would know exactly what you were getting into. So the first mission, going to go right down the line, disconnect all the plug wires and pull all these plugs out. What I got is some fancy plug wire removal tools. What I want to do is grab this fucker and I want to kind of twist on them as I'm pulling. So you kind of see what I did, hopefully. I was pretty much doing the twisting with the pliers. I was doing the pulling with my other hand behind them. So this is twisting, this is pushing, pops right off. And if you know how long I've been wrestling this wire, you would, well, I don't know what you would do. For fuck's sake, man. So sometimes you don't really need the fancy tool. Number one is like right behind this junction block. And I can imagine he's going to be real fun getting out too. To make life easier, I just unplugged him from the coil. Alright, you hussy. I'm just going to go ahead and pull the rest of these wires off. I think I broke one of them. Uh-oh. Now what was I saying? Oh yeah, I think I broke one of them. I think it was number 5. So I'm just going to put the wires on anyway. So what I'm going to do is just go right down the line and pop out 7, 5, 3, and 1. Now for getting these plugs out, this is usually my weapon of choice. It's a 5/8 spark plug socket with a little swivel on it, locking extension, and Mr. Ratchet 3/8. I think if you guys look real still, I can't fit my hand down there too at the same time, but number 7 is just like right there. Looks like my locking extension is making things a little too tight in there. So fuck him. Now number 5 is kind of blocked by this hose right here, but trust me, it's right there. Now my swivel socket on number 7, and it kind of hurt me more than it helped me. So I just got a traditional 5/8 spark plug socket now. So spark plug socket, 3-inch extension, and a ratchet. Number 5. Now this might be very, very hard to see, but number 3 is like right, I can't even touch it from here. GM put all this crap in the way, not thinking about, you know, people wanting to film shit. Fucks up with that. Number 3. Now, what could possibly be the worst camera angle in the history of this program. I can't get a better shot of number 1, but he's right. I think I'm touching him right there. All right, what the hell is taking so long here? Let's go. Move it, move it, move it. Yes, that was a Police Academy reference. Captain Harris, yo. Cylinder 1. Now, as you can tell, some of these plugs, I couldn't even touch them with my fingers. So getting them back in may be a little bit tricky. So what I could do is take the spark plug socket. Since the spark plug socket has rubber in here, it'll kind of hold the plug, keep it from falling out. And that way I can kind of maneuver it in there. I have a boot off of a different spark plug wire, and that's what I use. Say I'm going to put it in, maybe I don't have it perfectly straight because you can't even see what the hell you're doing. If it does start to line up wrong, this rubber will start turning before it'll actually let the spark plug go in. So there is a small advantage, I guess, to using an old plug boot. I want to run them in by hand as good as I can, a good couple turns before I start going on there with a ratchet, because I don't want to fuck nothing up. Rather than bore you guys with showing each and every plug specifically going back in, I'm just going to run down the line 7, 5, 3, 1 and just get them all in. Hopefully in one take, and hopefully I'm not really in the way while I'm doing this. Let me see. Maybe not. So I'm spinning it by my fingers as far as I can humanly get them. The torque spec for the spark plugs is 11 foot-pounds, and I can easily get 11 foot-pounds with my small ratchet. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll make a click sound. And again, I didn't go crazy tightening that thing up. I just got on it and just gave it a little It's hard to gauge what a little is, but really it's just not really cranking down on it, I guess is a good way to say it. I mean, if the torque spec's only 11 foot-pounds, you really don't need a huge, 3/8 ratchet on it and really wrenching down on it. Doesn't need all that. Just snug them up. Boom. Done. Just a little. This is why sometimes having an extension with a knurled end can help. And number one should be fun because, well, it was fun getting it out. So I put my hand under that whole cluster of shit and I was able to get a good grip on that spark plug socket. I don't even know if you can see this. If you can't, I'm sorry. AC Delco 0475. Well, I don't see any kind of date on them. I know on one of these I really pulled the fuck out of it, and I know that this started to come out of here. Not even going to dick around, just going to replace them. I want to retain these little heat shields, so it's just a matter of pulling it off of one and putting it on a new one. I really smashed a couple of these up trying to get them out. Don't have to be perfect. I'm just going to go ahead, take a little bit of this dielectric grease, poop her on in there. Nothing crazy. Might take just a little ditty titty. Boom, just like that. Let's just say that I did the plugs early or something and I didn't have any problems with the wires. This is what I would have done. Just shot some grease in the old plug wires. You'll notice that all the plug wires are the same length, so not really much to mess up on. Now listen, when you're pushing this back in, listen. Did you hear that pop? What you're hearing is, and you can actually feel it as you're doing it, is just a little faint click or pop or something. And it gives you the assurance that your plug wire is seated on both the plug and the coil. Try it again. Nope. I think what I have to do is just bring the camera a little bit closer. Good Lord. Yeah, that wasn't fun at all. But bank one's done. Let's move on to bank two. First, a little overview going from front to rear. Cylinder number 2, cylinder number 4, cylinder number 6. Way back there is cylinder number 8. Oh, look at number 8 way back there. I think I'm going to start with him. I'm surprised that one didn't break. That's usually the one that breaks on me. So just like last time, we're going to go right down the line, getting these things out of here. Good Lord. Okay, this motor so far has been the worst motor I've ever tried to film a repair on. So coming in from the passenger fender, you've got cylinder number 4 spark plug right there, and then cylinder number 6 is right there. So we're going to try to bang 4 and 6 out here. Number 6. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I cannot even see the number 8 spark plug. I'm just as blind as you are watching this. I can't see anything back here. Can't really see what I'm doing. Alright, one spark plug socket is on. Got my little tiny stubby extension. See him right there? That's the little extension I just put in. And to give you a better look from a wide shot, what you might be seeing if you're looking at this under the hood, kind of like that. Boom. So after some finagling, number 8. So the same deal here. We're just going to go ahead right down the row, put all these back in. You know, with like number 8 back here I'm doing right now, I can't see the hole, absolutely nothing. All I know is that the plug goes in at an angle kind of like that. Boom. Did you hear that? Oh, I think you might have heard that one. Man, getting the right angle on this is like getting the right angle when you're trying to do. Never mind. Maybe I'll bring back Richie Cunningham to explain that one. Just as I suspected, one of the wires did get fucked up during the removal process. The spark plugs were $5.62 a piece from Amazon, and that was with free shipping. So we have $5.62 a piece times 8 plugs, a grand total of $44.96. I'm on the fence of what I should do with these wires. I'm not sure if it's going to be the right thing to do to include them in the price of this 100,000 mile service. The wires were $51.62, which actually brought the grand total of this job up to $96.58. If I say that, you know, the wires aren't really part of the 100,000 mile service just to get my bottom line down here, I think that's kind of dishonest. So I think what I'm going to do is include these in the spark plug replacement. So $51.62. Grand total so far is $166.30. Not too bad. Pretty happy with that. Coming up next for the Tahoe 100,000 mile service, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do the transfer case fluid change. Now, I'm not sponsored by Rock Auto. This isn't a paid advertisement or none of this shit, but If you can see right here, I have 2004 Chevy Tahoe 5.3 V8 spark plug. Look at all these freaking choices of spark plugs. Copper, platinum, what did that say? Less risk of a misfire damaging catalytic converter. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. So you keep scrolling down and you find iridium, higher melting point, conductivity, blah blah blah. Who the fuck cares? But one thing I notice is that they do not list the 41110. So in that case, you just go up to part number search, wait for this little ditty titty to do its thing, and we'll do 41-110 AC Delco part number 41110, 536 a piece. So even though the 41110 does not show up on the part catalog for Rock Auto, they do have that. And again, this isn't a paid advertisement or none of that shit. I do use Rock Auto for a lot of my stuff. I just thought it was weird that they didn't even include that. When I did the video for the Trailblazer spark plugs, people gave me shit for using iridium plugs because I think they were like about $6 a piece. You need 6 of them, and it's whatever that is, 36 bucks. Oh, you can go to Walmart and get some freaking auto lights for what, you know, $2 or something a piece. It's like, dude, you only have to do this like once every 100,000 miles. So why the fuck cheap out? You know what I'm saying? Again, going back to the book, they call for the 41-985, which was superseded by the 41110. That's what Chevy said to put in this engine. You know, it's not, you know, just something that I made up like, hey, the $6 plugs are better. Do you really think I wanted to spend close to $50 on spark plugs for the Tahoe? Fuck no. Another thing that came up was people saying, AC Delco, they don't make their own parts. What that actually is a NGK spark plug. I don't give 2 fucks, you know what I mean? I don't really care about that stuff. I just want to get what goes in the truck and put it in and not have to worry about it for 100,000 miles. I don't know what motivates people to just want to argue about the most retarded stuff, especially gapping iridium plugs or who makes parts for AC Delco. All that shit is fucking irrelevant. Let's just get it in, get it fixed, and get it the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go take this thing for a ride, make sure everything's cool, pick up some lunch. The video is actually over for replacing the spark plugs. If you like what you see, subscribe. Thanks for watching, all that stuff. If you just get a Tahoe trying to catch up on your maintenance, definitely stay tuned. We're gonna keep hitting at this 100,000 mile service till it's done. After I come back from a ride, well, just like a lot of other times, if something's going on in my life, I kind of share what's been going on, you know, at the end of a video, if I've got something to say, or maybe some people piss me the fuck off, and I got something I want to talk about. So I'm gonna go grab some lunch and we'll be back. Like I said, a lot of times what I do, if I have something going on in my personal life, sometimes it's just best just to vent right here in front of the camera, come back, watch it, throw it at the end of the video, and I don't know, it just makes me feel better inside, I guess, you know what I mean? A problem that I've had as of late is people getting the fucking idea that somehow they're entitled to getting shit done for free, you know what I'm saying? Some people, I guess they see I have a couple trucks, I have a shop, I'm trying to get my shit up and running, you know what I mean? And they think that my time just doesn't mean nothing, you know what I'm saying? Well, let me ask you fucksticks something. Do you think I would have any of this shit if I did shit for people for free? The answer is no. I wouldn't have none of this. What I'm learning is if you're good and you're fair and you're honest with people, the word spreads. You know, hey, there's a guy out there who, you know what I mean, took care of me. He's just really upfront, down to earth, doesn't fuck around, just gets the shit done, you know what I'm saying? The word kind of gets around and more people are finding me. People that I don't know and I don't owe, you know what I'm saying? You know, some people are just like shocked that there's a diagnostic charge. Yes, there's a charge for me just to look at your car and see what's wrong with it, you know what I mean? Maybe your cousin just told you that, oh, it just needs an EGR valve or something, you know what I mean? I'm not your cousin. My name's on the repair, so I'm gonna make sure that what I'm doing is actually gonna fix the vehicle. You know, the best one is when somebody comes up and says, hey, can you put these pads and rotors on my car? How much is it gonna be? Usually it's about 90 bucks. $90, well, I'm a single mom and my mom's sick. Look, I don't give 2 fucks about your relationship status or the health of your family members. I'm here to make money, you know what I'm saying? You're not entitled to get anything for free. You know what I mean? What gave you that idea that somehow you're entitled to get somebody to do something for you for nothing is beyond me. You need to quit smoking that shit, you know what I mean? My neighbor had the AC go out his house over the summer, and guess what? there was a charge for the company just to come out and look at it. You know what I'm saying? Why is getting your car fixed any different? It's not, as far as I'm concerned. You know, even being here today cost me money. You know what I mean? These lights don't turn themselves on for free. That heat doesn't run for free. The water doesn't flush for free. Well, flow for free, whatever. If somebody comes in here, I don't go and start telling them, oh man, I had to buy my son a potty because he's going to start potty training soon and this and that. I don't tell them my fucking problems, you know what I mean? My philosophy when I worked at other shops was, I don't know you and I don't owe you, you know? So there would be times where like, you know, somebody would bring their car in because they knew the service writer and he would hook them up. That has no bearing on me. There's still a diagnostic charge. You still have to pay for the repair, and that's what it is. So these guys would be like, oh yeah, just bring it by the shop. I'll take care of you. Well, I take care of you means, no, the mechanic will take care of you. This mechanic will not take care of you. You know what I mean? Oh, son, I'm sorry. I couldn't buy you any Pampers this week because Mr. fucking Stephen Q. Dickhead, he's a really good customer, and I just decided to work on his truck for free. That's not going to fly. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if anyone else remembers this, but back in the day, like in the 90s, there was these t-shirts that people would wear, and it would say like, don't ask me, and then the number 4, and then shit. I want to get one of those shirts. I want to get one of those shirts made. Just that will be my company uniform here at my shop. Don't ask me for shit for free. You know what I'm saying? I could work on your car for free, but I'd rather just fly around on my creeper. Oh yeah! I hope my butt crack wasn't hanging out.